Richard, appreciate you joining us this morning. I saw on 3 Sports, Cody Kennedy was named as a rising star. And when you're a rising star, not only are you doing on-the-field coaching, but you're doing it recruiting. I think we all agree that the first 5-star that Arkansas could get out of state under Pittman is probably going to be an offensive lineman. How key is Cody Kennedy going to be for that?
Key, because obviously that's the guy that you're going to be spending most of your time with. Film room, just being coached by, on the sidelines and practice. You're going to be around him a lot. You better like your or respect your position coach. And Cody's one of these guys that he's kind of like Sam. I think they kind of mirror one another in a lot of ways. Once you get to talk to him, I don't know, within a couple of minutes, you feel like you've known him for quite some time. He's got that personality that makes you feel relaxed. He's very good. He's very at ease when talking to you. I've talked to some coaches where, it's not natural, and it is natural for Cody, and I think that's why they're having success getting some impressive offensive linemen on campus, and I think they're going to have an impressive class, as far as the 23 class.
Richard, what do official visits look like during the season compared to out of the season? Because I think you'd have a better chance of taking in an Arkansas football game and getting a young man, hey, this is awesome, I want to go here. What do those differences look like when officials in and out of season?
The in-season things, you do have a point. It is an advantage as far as the kids seeing the atmosphere, seeing game day, seeing the crowds, especially if it's even if they don't win. A lot of times Arkansas crowds, if it's a competitive game, they're into the game. The kids can kind of see that the passion of the fans. The negative part is the coaches aren't able to spend that much time with you like they are off season. And most of the time they like to have guys during off season so they can spend that you got 48 hours for an official visit. During the in-season official visit, you may get a few hours with a kid. Off season, when obviously had a lot more time on your hands, you're spending triple that or even more with that kid and being able to interact. So the communication, the kid's able to see you, I guess more often, and obviously get to see how you are as a person in a longer period of time versus a short period of time.
Richard, you published a piece today about the tight end recruiting, and Arkansas's got 3 4-stars, including Ashdown's Shamar Easter coming in. My question to you is, how much do you think we see a difference in structure and personnel groups and play calling with Kendall Browse, knowing that tight ends have become a bigger focus with Dow Loggins in the recruiting? How much does the offense change to custom and tailor it towards that talented tight end in the future?
Yeah, I think with Coach Browse, he's able to adjust to his personnel, and I think when you got 3 tight ends, if all 3 of them sign with Arkansas and they're on campus next year and the following few years, he'll find ways to get the ball to them and have multiple tight ends on the field and create some mismatches. I mean, I think as a quarterback, I don't think there's anything better than having a 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" receiver you're throwing to, because you obviously you don't have to be as accurate. And if you got guys, a tight end that's got some speed and can be a mismatch on linebackers or even safety as far as being more physical than them, man, you got to like that matchup. So I think Coach Browse, do some be creative when these guys get on campus.
I know they had the kids camp last week for the elementary age kids, and that's always a favorite and sells out fast. They got the prospects camps coming up, so it's a busy time for the coaching staffs here in June as you got a lot of campers of a variety of ages, under 17 or so, all on campus right now.
Yeah, they had some pretty good quarterbacks on campus last Saturday for the first prospect camp. They got another one coming in. Another prospect camp this Saturday, and Adrian Posse's a 24 quarterback from Miami, 6'5", 225, a 4-star. He'll be on campus on Saturday. several other kids will be there. They usually have anywhere from 5 to 10 really good prospects. And last Saturday they had Keyshawn Wilson from Houston run a 4.28. He had 19 offers before he got to Arkansas. I don't know if Arkansas is going to offer him or not. He's kind of on the small side. He's definitely about 5'9" and about 170. He was working out as a cornerback, but maybe who knows? They'll keep evaluating him and make a decision later. But he's definitely interested in Arkansas. He seemed to like it. But he ran the time. They kind of said, "Hey, run that again." So they had 5 coaches timing the second time. The slowest time he had, 4.31.
Now, Richard, remind me, Clemson kid, wanted to go to Arkansas. I think played in KC. He ran a 4.3. Can you help me out?
4.37.
4.37. Who was that?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I remember talking to him. Great kid. Yeah, I remember. I mean, hey, every staff misses some, and when obviously when I know everybody jumps on Brett about that. When you're not a successful coach at that particular school and you miss on a kid like that, you're an idiot, obviously. Well, he's hit on more guys than he's missed. I can assure you, most coaches do. But there's some kids that you will miss on.
I do remember going to basketball camp as a kid, and it was a combination of John Pelfrey and Mike Anderson. It was the John Pelfrey camp. One year he gets let go, and then Mike Anderson. And the players were impactful because they were watching and reffing in some cases. I mean, how cool is it? And I know basketball camp's kind of going on right now as well. What does that mean for these young kids that aren't just 16, 17, but the younger kids in the state that are getting mentored by their heroes right now during the summer?
Oh, I think that's huge. KJ Jefferson worked the camp on Saturday, saw some other Razorbacks, and talked to an out-of-state quarterback. I said, what's it like, being mentored or, getting tips from one of the best quarterbacks in the country? And you could tell he had a lot of respect for KJ. I'm talking about Josh Flowers from Alabama. He's a 4-star quarterback with an Arkansas offer. He really enjoyed, talking to KJ and picking his brain. But, if you're an in-state guy and you see you're working out with, with these guys kind of coaching you, as a kid myself, when I was a kid, I looked up to the Razorbacks like they were God, So I can imagine how kids are when they see these guys working the camps and being coached by them.
What was one of the first stories we heard from Sam Pittman when he came in as head coach was about camps and about Lou Holtz and the impression that made on him. So,
great point.
I mean, my son's going into 7th grade, and we missed the cutoff for this year, but, that's something he definitely wants to do, is go to that camp. I don't know if he'll ever play college football or not, but he loves the Razorbacks. He just wants to be around it. I can't imagine for a 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th grader, leading up to that, how neat and what a memory that would create. It's probably as much about the parents as it is the kids, but, Richard, those are memories that will last forever for those kids and make lifelong fans of nothing else.
Oh, absolutely. I remember as a kid running into some Razorbacks and
no. What happened to Richard's phone?
All right.
Maybe we'll get him back in a second.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. My cheek hitting the mute button again. I guess I get tired of hearing myself. But anyway, I just remember as a kid seeing some Razorbacks and meeting them and talking to them, and my eyes were as big as quarters. So they're bigger than life for kids in Arkansas if they're big Razorback fans, because they see these guys on TV, they read about them, they see them on TV. It's a big deal to be able to interact with them at a camp and just realize that hey, they're just like anybody else. But as a kid though, you elevate them to a level that is almost like godlike, and that's the truth. I'm not comparing them to God, but I mean as a kid, they're huge to you.
They're heroes. They're your heroes.
Absolutely.
I mean, when I was a kid, Quinn Grovey was a hero. I mean, that's the way it was. All right, quick on college baseball this weekend. How do you think the weekend plays out, and what kind of lift does this give just the brand and recruiting, and how much do you hear about it even in other sports with the Hogs in the College World Series? How big a deal is this from a recruiting standpoint?
I think it's big. I mean, you seriously, you look at the you look at the coaches on campus. They're always retweeting other sports that are having success, and when you do that, kids they see that and see, wow, man, it's a well-rounded athletic department. I mean, you had an Elite Eight team go in basketball. You had a team went 9 games, won the January 1 bowl game. I mean, you got the Razorback baseball team going to another College World Series. It's kind of like an old hat with Van Horn and the Razorbacks going to Omaha. But I think it definitely helps the brand. It shows that the support is there, and as an athlete, you want to know that you're going to be going to a school that supports you as an athlete and as a student. And we know by just looking at what's on Razorback Road, how much support the student athlete gets. And then you look at that academic center, it's as big or bigger than anyone in the country. And I've talked to a lot of parents that say it's as good as they've ever seen.
Richard, we'll leave it there. We'll talk to you next Thursday, and hopefully we're talking about the Hogs being in the championship series or maybe a win away at that point.
Man, I look forward to that. I really do. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you.
Richard Davenport with us every Thursday on a Recruiting Thursday here on the Morning
Partners
Run.
at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's super easy to get started, so head to the website today or use your mobile device to join and use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.